This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Just in case you wondered what these guitars that I play occasionally, so I've been playing this one on Instagram a little bit, and I've been playing the Telly live. I kind of chucked up a story the other day. Anytime I post about these guitars, people seem to ask, like, what are those things? Presumably so that they can avoid them in person and never end up having to see one in person. So these are my Twatcasters. I've done other videos on them, but I don't know if I've ever kind of concluded that these might be my most interesting guitars, because they are definitely the things that get asked the most questions about when I post about them online. So the thing is, these are both my parts casters. This one was finished in 2015, as you can read from the headstock there, and has some rather questionable kind of finishing choices. At the time, kind of Nash guitars were kind of fashionable, and I thought maybe this neck would look better if I kind of attacked it with steel wool and vinegar. I don't think I was right, but still, it is what it is. And then this one, I kind of thought, well, I'll do that sort of thing again. So this was built in 2016, slightly more expensive parts on it. If you're wondering whether parts casters are worth building, I've done other videos on that. I think they are, because it can sort of show you what it takes to make a good guitar or an okay guitar. I think it's a good experience for anyone who plays guitar to really give it a go at least. So let's talk about them in terms of parts if you're interested in that. This is a Swamp Ash body. Actually, both of these are, and they're both finished. Essentially, this is Gecko grain filler, Gecko fill grain filler black. So you kind of have the body comes blank generally, right? But already routed. So you buy those sorts of things from eBay or guitarbuild.co.uk, and you put your filler on there, and then you sand that back, and you ended up with, depending on how aggressively or not you sand it, you end up with a kind of either a really tidy finish or, like these, quite a scruffy finish. And the scruffiness is what I could achieve, and I thought, let's make them kind of intentionally looking scruffy and then it won't be so obvious when I mess up. So that's the idea with these. So swamp ash bodies, Gecko fill, grain filler, and then a bit of kind of white pigment to kind of make them a bit whiter. Then this one is finished with like Danish oil. I think this one was Danish oil, and then later on another body I did try doing some nitro stuff, which would have come up really nicely. But then this neck is a Mighty Mite Telecaster neck. I think it's like a 14-inch radius with an Earvana nut, which I put on there because it was easier to get an Earvana nut and install that than to try and kind of modify your own nut. And it's quite a slim neck, sort of like a Squire Classic Vibe type neck, but that covers most of that. And then some just kind of cheap from Axecaster, I think .co.uk is where I got most of the hardware bits. The pickups in here have been changed to K-Line. This one's a K-Line Signature, and this one is also a K-Line Signature, I think Royalty or something like that. Yeah, kind of, I asked Chris, could he build me something like what a Strat pickup might be. I got that idea from a Sir telly that I had, which had a Mike Landau pickup in the neck, and I thought that Strat pickup in the neck is kind of nice. So something similar here. I think Alnico 2 pickups, whatever difference that makes. So that's that, and then also like for the intonation, the 6-way thing, and 22nd fret, which is handy for gigging. Then this one here, quite different. This is a Warmoth vintage style neck, but it's like a boat neck, so it has a really aggressive V, similar tuning pegs, 21 fret, stainless steel though, so quite a different slinky feel to that. And the frets on the telly are quite worn now that it's nearly 10 years old. These haven't aged at all. And then this was a guard that was kind of, already assembled from eBay, from a shop, and it is Fender Custom Shop 69s, I think, or something like that. But Abby signed or initialed, so they're not Abby pickups, but they were supervised by her. Now, the main differences on the guitar, and also actually I finished this neck with nitro, so it's got like a light coating of nitro on it. So yeah, then the main difference, the pickups of course, and then this guitar is strung with the heaviest strings that I use these days, which are 11s. This guitar is strung with 8s. So it's quite interesting from that point of view for me as well, because where I've got a thicker neck like this, I wanted to try what happens if I put on 8-gauge strings. I've done another video on that, you can check that out. And then this guitar, because of the skinnier neck, I've still got a bunch of 11-gauge strings that I have in the cupboard, and for that reason, because it's got the thinner neck, I feel like this guitar kind of suits having some heavier strings for me personally, so that's what I use it for. I did play it live the other day, and I was feeling a little bit more like maybe lighter strings could be the way to go for some of this stuff. So what I'm quite liking about the feel of the lighter strings these days, it's not just the lead playing, but also like the rhythm playing. You get a bit more give. Bit more give in the string, which kind of suits some of what I'm doing. I'm also finding that I kind of go for some things that on the 8 strings. definitely the BB King thing, why you're working so hard, kind of rings true with this one. So I'm really finding this guitar quite interesting to play these days now that it's gauged up with 8-gauge strings, stainless steel frets. I think it's a pretty cool instrument. Certainly people seem to find it kind of eye-catching whenever I post with it, and likewise when people see this one in person, they're like, what is that? Two very different guitars actually as well, I should say. The vintage radius on this, 7.25 radius, and this one is like 12 to 14 inches. They're really very different guitars. Thick neck on this, really thin, kind of boring on skinny neck on this. So it's kind of my two yin and yang instruments. Have you got anything going on like that? Have you got parts casters that you've built? I'd love to know if you guys have got that sort of thing. So drop some comments if you've tried building your own stuff, your success stories, your failure stories. These are two of my more successful parts casters. I've got one that didn't end up turning out so good, and another one that I never bothered to finish. Although the actual kind of finish on that, it looks pretty good, but I never got round to it. I was using the Eric Lee 2023 preset in the intro. If you want to check that out, I'll catch you in another video soon. Cheers.